You know what I mean? Like the story is old as time. Bruce Almighty, what are you doing here? Meanwhile, well, I thought I could beat God from the powers he gave me in the movie. I thought I could do that. I thought I was like gonna so totally destroy him and take everything and make it my way. It was totally gonna work too, except for the fact it was definitely not working. And I tried to force it really, really hard to work that way, and it didn't. Everybody that's laughing is like, what's funny, man? Is that really that funny? That's what fucking humans are. That's right, man. Humans are that fucking gullible. They genuinely are that greedy, goddamn insatiable cunts. Especially here in America, where they decided to make legalese that essentially is gaslighting legalese. Wonderful shit. Wonderful things. The best, some could say. And you're actually not a good lawyer if you don't participate in the gaslighting. Exhibit A, how about the entire tobacco industry? Exhibit B, how about when we decided to effectively write an amendment banning alcohol? Then deciding, oh, we went a little too far on that one. Nah, you can have it. How about that one, huh? Some of you might even be old enough to know and remember that gaslighting bullshit. Yes, the only thing that causes the problems is the alcohol. Nothing else going on in the world today is causing the problems that the alcohol is being blamed for. Not a single amount of that is happening. No way whatsoever. Meanwhile, me, who got to listen to a little bit of the history. Holy shit, they really did gaslight an entire nation into believing that it was just the alcohol that was causing all their issues. Just the alcohol. All right, so I'm going to explain something here real quick to you. Gaslighting is to say you are making someone out to be the bad guy that is not the bad guy, or calling them crazy when they are not crazy. Basically, it's essentially that. There isn't really much more to it than that. Alright? That's gaslighting. Say, hey America, it's the entirety of you fucks drinking the alcohols that causes all the issues. Not your racism, not your unequal pay. Wait a second. What is this, 2022? Uh-oh. Shit. That's changed, really, when I think about it. Now, we're going to explain something even greater than that. It's called quantum thermodynamics. Stay with me here. Stay with me. I know you want to leave, you bastards. I said words that make you go, no. In every single capacity, I don't want to. Meanwhile, me. Again. Come on. It's not that bad. It's just some thermodynamics. It's okay. Let me pressure you. Get it? Because it's a gaslighting. Which, you're being pressured. It's not that bad. You're the one that needs to light up. Or lighten up, not light up. You're the one that needs to, believe something differently or whatever else, right? These are my own roasted beans, by the way. And then the fact that thermodynamics happens to have pressure, based upon heat. And so heat, meaning, this is a Gen Zer term, heat is currently getting used as a way to say, pressure kind of thing. Like I'm like, ooh, that's spicy. That's some drama right there. You know what I mean? And also pressure. because like thermodynamically speaking, like it pressures you just to do something, you know what I mean? So they use the word heat, and I'm like, that's a very apt little term, isn't it? Isn't it just? It's a fucking pun. Oh my god, nobody understands me. I have to explain all the time what the hell anything is. Where you go? Why is thermodynamics on this fucking docket today to talk about? You know me. What's the issue? What's the issue? Why do you have issues with talking about thermodynamics, eh? Is a quantum one? I understand how heat maybe produces more pressure, but ultimately less density. And I'm like, do go on. Do, please, go on. I would love to hear more. What is this thing that you call density? What is that? Particles per million or something? Close enough. Good enough. I'll work with that. That's fine. It's not, but whatever. It's good enough, you know, it's close enough. It's whatever. That's essentially what that is. Now, what would a quantum thermodynamics be? Assuming it's something similar. Probably, right? We don't know. It's a theory. Theories have theories within theories. It's a way to solve some of the issues between the largest astrophysics phenomenons. This is still definitely... No. No, not 2. 1, bitch. We're going to do 1 click back. We're going to take a look 1 click back and examine how far we've come. 1 full click meter. And say, there's a lot of stuff in between me and there. Thermodynamically, I put through a lot of energy. And while I didn't do it very quickly, and so there wasn't a lot of resistance to the change over time that occurred, there is still a lot of stuff that did happen between then and now. Still working it in. You don't know. I got jokes on jokes, man. But thermodynamics is a crock of shit. It doesn't work and it's not real. I'm so sorry. I'm just like, well, then you didn't say that. You're not here and you're not alive and none of you are in any way possibly real. God makes me real. He still has to obey the laws of physics, bitch. Shut the fuck up. You didn't say a word at all. There's literally no way that you said any of that without thermodynamics. Why don't you go fuck off? Kick. Get out of here. People these days, am I right, folks? People these days. You're like, it's not the people, it's you. I'm gaslighting you into believing it is you that needs the change here, Mr. Non-Reality. Nice Batman impression. You've been working on it? No! That's the Joker! Oh, you're right. The Joker. That's right. That's what that is. The Joker. Well, you know, considering that you like to consider yourself all about the consideration of the justices and unfairnesses and more about the world, since we're talking about the legalization of aspects of gaslighting in the courtroom here. Much like how it is we are creating what is effectively a system quantumly superpositioned in such a way where it's so confused, and then putting heat in it the right kind of vibrational manner to make the outcome that we wish to occur collapse and occur. That's right. Much like that. You thought I was not, relating any of this? That's right, I did. I'm fucking awesome. And you need to fucking, think about this a little, okay? You're the student, I'm the teacher. You listen to the teacher, okay? Comprende, capisce? Need to learn how it is that this gaslighting legalese garbage is effectively we're gonna cool you off and make you confused as fuck about what the hell it is. In fact, you need to lighten up. For one thing, Judge, it wasn't that bad what we did. We just plagiarized an entire paper. Hey, well, I mean, you're right. Honestly speaking, you were not doing anything that bad. But for you to tell me, the judge, that, as if that's going to go over well with your parents, because that's effectively what I am. I'm your parents for law. Much like they're supposed to be for your house. You get it? Because there's a double entendre there. For the house of... Most people are probably not going to get that. To explain them the things they need to understand here. Because this is going to lead into the fact that there's also a pressure thing going on. It's not very dense. You know, the more dense the legalese becomes, the more cold, so to speak, the courtroom gets. Hey, I brought it on back. You thought I wasn't going to, and I was. The cold room ain't very warm when we're getting deep into the bones of those legalese things. For the justices are the things that this Joker, is all about. Morning coffee with yours truly. That's right, I think about this stuff. So quantum thermodynamics, pretty simple, basic stuff, easy to wrap your head around. It's basically a way to describe a below the threshold. That's right, folks, just below the threshold. Not doses. Sorry, folks. We're not looking for psychedelic stuff here. Or other more sexual things, okay? Get your head out of the gutter. We're talking about cool stuff called fucking math and science, not your fucking goddamn sex in the bedroom. I don't care. Everybody has it. Go away. We're going to talk about something that actually matters. Oh! That's right. All right. So, we talk about the fact that below the neutrality point, which is proposed as a dimensionality aspect. That's right, a dimensionality aspect of energy for our given quantum realms. And the superpositional entanglement area is in the neutral zone. That means there's stuff well below that. We just don't have the ability to observe it. Not hidden variables, No, not at all. They're not hidden in any form or capacity. They're very much always there. That's right. We just have a really hard time seeing them because you don't know why? We're gaslit with our people all believing in this thing in our tribe. Okay? Legally, that's just how that works. Okay? You're the crazy one to think otherwise. Alright? You don't make any sense whatsoever thinking or saying anything like that. See, I brought it around back. It's now back to the heat. Now back to the drama. Now back onto that spice. With yours truly, Xenon Reality, in the morning making espresso. Folks, that's right. This is basically what this is. So it's obviously clear to us in every form and way that this is all this is. And it could never be interpreted or perceived elsewise, or in some other form or way. The scholars among you, what the fuck are you on about? You're fucking dumb as shit. That doesn't make sense. That's not possible. Let me see that. What? Who wrote this garbage? Who said that that's the only way that this can be perceived? Meanwhile, they go through quantum experiments. See, your classical physicist doesn't work here. I am the smart guy, and you're the astrophysicist who is dumb now. You're the ones that are stupid and wrong all the time. And it doesn't work. Meanwhile, a quantum thermodynamicist. It's really just the fact that there are two different energy levels here, and that one happens to work with you, and this one happens to work with it. It happens to play by some different rules, and then there's an in-between, which is kind of like thermal grease, acting as a barrier for us more than anything. That helps to transfer some of that phenomena to us. But you see, you're looking at it in a 2D screen. I can almost imagine right now. Most likely, that's how you're viewing this, as a fucking 2D screen, where you're looking at it like it's an ocean thing. But it's fucking goddamn multi-dimensional. And you know what? It's all around you in every single form and capacity and way. You absolute dumb motherfucker. You're not right. Nothing about what you think is right. You need to fucking grow up and own up to the fact that you lied your ass off about what the hell was going on because it meant that you could win a case and get more money. Brought it all back. Maybe you'll understand that. Ooh. Such good fucking espresso. Meanwhile, the other quantum thermodynamicist, I wasn't going to say that, but that's literally what that is. Meanwhile, they're like, yeah, I'm a physicist. And I'm like, I'm not anything in your fucking goddamn, you stupid cunts. Can you realize that I'm not a physicist? I am but a man who understood some of the math and what they were saying. I am simply your worst nightmare. A person explaining to you something as an enthusiast. That's right, an enthusiast. And so we need to get the PhDs in here to really sort this out and have you debate amongst each other. To really talk about the real stuff, okay? We need to get you to talk about how someone might be right in their perception. And that they're seeing things like this. And use generalizing, black and white, all or nothing verbiage that gaslights another person into believing only one particular type of events in the world of physics, mathematics, and engineering. Ooh, scary stuff. It's almost like we have to go to group or family therapy. We have to mind our manners. That's right, folks. To mind our manners and not overrun and let people talk while another person listens. Dun 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 dun. You're gonna have to shut up and just take it and listen to something that you don't like. Oh! And say that maybe I wasn't perfect with the way I acted. Or said things. Or even made it seem as I was. It's not therapy. You're right. It's like therapy. It's similar, you fucking idiot. I said that several times, you fucking retard. It's a retard. Get it? Because we, and then they're actually smart, and anyways. Usually wonderful, good people that are only held back by something they don't control. But you control yourself. You're worse than them. You can actually decide to be a decent person and you choose not to be. Which, by the way, they're choosing to be decent people. But you're not. They could have given in and given up. Never tried. Meanwhile, your ass. That sounds like a good plan. I don't know why they wouldn't do that. That's what I'm doing. Works out for me. You know, my life story or situation. Okay? I'm dealing with so much more than you could ever be dealing with. You twice homeless, going to the mental health hospital 5 times, dealt with massive sexual assault. And then, a gaslighting, massively cunty, emotionally neglectful, terrible fucking family that got angry and played it down that your mother was going through something while she fucking brutalized you. But sure, thanks. Act like my older sister. Sure. Yeah, I know what I'm going through. I love it. I love the fact that I tweeted that out. I took a picture of that and I just a screenshot of that and I was like, fuck that. You really gonna fuck that? Okay, I don't know any. I'm the one that did all the fucking work to fucking learn and what about your life is going on and everything else that you were going through, and you're the one that refused to even talk to me, and I'm the one that has to always come in. Not to mention I have ADHD, and it's like, hey, do you know what that really means? It means out of sight, out of mind. You know what I mean? So when it comes down to the socialization aspect, if I don't fucking hear from you, for some reason my mind goes, they don't exist for some reason. And then randomly it pops up they do. Oh yeah. Oh shit. It's been way too long. This is awkward. Well, I'm not going to say anything because I don't need to explain anything to them. They're people that should just not be just cunty assholes. And we should be able to have the fucking goddamn conversation without them being cunty assholes. You know what I mean? And for the most part, decent people, yeah, but they're few and far between, so have fun with that one. People are like, nah, I'm a decent person. Oh yeah? What about that person? I can't vouch for them. But that one over there, I don't know, they could be maybe. Honestly, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to say he's a bad person. Oh, really? You don't, huh? I do. Hey, you're a bad person. Defend yourself right now. This person also agrees In no way with what I'm saying, so don't attack them. What have you done lately? I'm making myself espresso and explaining quantum thermodynamics to people in a layman's way that basically means they'll get this with jokes and fucking puns that obviously display my overwhelming intelligence. And I shouldn't be like that. I shouldn't be saying that. I shouldn't be in any way. I should be the humble, I need to be humble guy. So that way your little fucking fifis don't get super hurt. So that way you don't feel like you need to go after me because I'm not acting. Sorry, I went off on a train and a tangent. But the point is like, I was gonna go, I'm not acting the way you want me to. Ooh, everybody in the world has to act the way you want them to. I think you need to grow the fuck up, you fucking idiot. They're not gonna do that. They just aren't. They're not going to. Granted, it'd be nice if they acted like what I wanted them to act like, which is decent people to themselves and others. I'm like a fascist that way. You know what I mean? I definitely will say I'm a rainbow-ass fascist, man. I am super that. I'm authoritarian and suppressive in my regime and control over you, being nice to yourself and others, and telling them the positives about themselves. I'm a fascist your ass up. But I'm anti-other fascists. Like all of the other fascisms. No, I'm not a fan of that. But I could see how that would be a good thing because therapists do it. Hey, you over there! You're gonna put both sides up, not just the argument you want fucking to win. That's right, motherfucker. I know what you're doing, you gaslighting little cunt. You stupid legal person. And now we're back to the heat. That's right. Now it's less dense. It didn't get quite as, intellectually dense as the other guys were. It wasn't so cold and clinical and people, left easily. Because fuck this, I don't want to be talked to like that. And what are you? And I don't have to fucking sit here and take obvious statements that are correct about me. And my drama-filled life. That's really my fault because I was unwilling to compromise. Or fucking grow a little and just allow people to be themselves that are different than me and what I wanted them to be, and just accept that. Hey, is that you talking about your mom and your family? Yeah, but there are still abusive fucks, so I don't want to get into that. It's been 8 years. That hasn't gotten better. Drama! But it's a lot less dense. See what I'm saying? It's a lot less dense. So, we're talking about the fact that the density goes up. But you know what? The relative pressure is almost non-existent. And so from our perspective, while that, multi-dimensional, there's time, there's space, there's all the things, hump the air, you're fucking it right now. It's a part of you. Quantum thermodynamics here is essentially just something that is, to our relative perspective, again, because quantum relativity is still a thing. You have to remember, things are still happening on timescales in small spaces that are astronomically proportional in their size relative to the largest structures that we found to us. It's insane. It's amazing. It's fucking it's so cool. But That's what, like, little itty-bitty things like pions and leptons and gluons and shit like that are, right? Or pions, whatever, I don't give a shit. Pions! It's pions! Okay, there's some debate about the fucking word right now. Whether or not it's pions or peons, because apparently nobody fucking did the work and put it in the dictionary to specify what exactly it's supposed to sound like. But it's... Meanwhile, the scientists, particles that might be really there, but we don't know, go brr. I don't give a shit about how this is pronounced. Fuck off. They'll decide. I don't give a fuck. Those fuckers will figure it out. I don't give a shit. It's not my fault. I don't even have colliders anymore. They're taking my stuff. Fucking goddamn stupid Baka-chan. Texas bastards. Meanwhile, Texas. Oh, that's right. We have a collider here. We used to be one of the biggest fucking... That's so... Oh, yeah. Meanwhile, me. Holy shit. There was a fucking Texas fucking particle accelerator collider? Wow, America used to give a shit for a while. At least we got LIGO that we can actually use to really actually gravitationally detect on the smallest scales, because fuck us, right? But we're the cool guys that have the same machine as 2 other people on the planet. But we are unique. We're special and awesome and cool. We're America. We are certainly not overconfident in everything that we are and do, and say that we're the best at everything, when in reality, we're the best at literally nothing, practically except for sucking. Like, all the time. And we con others into believing that we're really good at things. Back to the cold clinical calculational work. Since I like doing this as an engine for your brain to really be able to focus in a sterling manner, okay? This is a sterling hot to cold and pressure to no pressure, because guess what? No pressure is in that constantly hot area we're in. Dimensionally speaking, that seems to suggest everything's only this and there's no way it could be anything remotely different. Until you get to quantum areas and avenues. And then you're like, nah, I didn't say that. That's not what my problem is. Fucking baka. Idiot. Oh, gosh. Vote for Pedro. He never did get voted for, did he? Guys, remember that? Llamas! Back when it was kooky and cute to be an ADHDer, because that's what ADHD people are. They're not the scene emo crowd pretending to be ADHD because they want to seem quirky and cute and unique and everything else. Oh my God, called out so hard. Meanwhile, they're on like Concerta. Their entire life's fucked up. Their family hates them. Everything about them and their life is garbage. Moving on back to the fact that everything is dense as hell. But to us, basically non-existent in its realm of space. Because first off, it's not just very hard to approach it. Second off, it's technically speaking, from our relative perspective, enormously, ginormously non-existent in terms of the amount of space it happens to have, but not to its relative perspective. You know what I mean? It would say we're literally largest amount of space. There's nothing there. How is it that you would find anything over there doing anything whatsoever? And that relatively speaking, because it's quantum relativity here, is effectively what that's about. Okay, so for it, while to us looks like a sliver of nothingness that should be as ignored as anything else, and there's apparently even a non-existence of superposition that wanted to, potentials that is, that wanted to become real and actually be something. But they had to go through some sort of step up of energy dimensionality, like Michio Kaku, which is a part of the quantum thermodynamics mathematical process here, where they run through a gray hole. That's what I call them. They're gray holes. Where they are mathematical potentials. Potentials, that's right. That seem to suck up other potentials. And then try and effectively using an accelerational and amplificatory of energy, because like I was talking about with, we're going to walk for a click and we're going to look back. We're going to see that that potential that I actualized and realized didn't really result in the explosive nature of all of reality, even though technically speaking you did release a lot of energy. If you did it the right way, it should have resulted in an explosion, but you did it slowly over time. That motherfucker does it basically, as far as our relative perspective of life, is instantaneous. It's not, but it might as well be. And they're only small little bumps in the little areas that are the falling down crema of the espresso world, or nitrogen bubbles in soda or coffee that go down and then quantumly tunnel back up. And that's pretty much where the density of their area happens to be. And then there's that gray hole area, which, by the way, quasi-particles popping in and out of space, my theory is that those are literally direct radiational events from these gray holes. They didn't make it to the point where they were above us in energy, and then they dropped to a lower metastable state, thus making a universe form, okay, which is quite a bit of energy. But, granted, we're also under a shit ton of pressure that says, you can't come around here. You just can't. There's no fucking way. But there's a lot less density here. But what does that mean in terms of what those quasi-particles can do? Well, I could technically exist there. And I'm going to be gone anyways. So, whatever. And that's essentially what quantum thermodynamics tells us should be happening, mathematically speaking. All right. QTD theories are abound, and it comes down to that. But you'd have to go through quite a few people to get to the point where you'd know a thing or two about that. Because the vast majority of people focus on astrophysics and the basic Hadron Collider experiments. That's right. Fart indeed. To me, is that really that big of a deal? No offense, there might be other methodologies to be able to find these so-called supersymmetrical particles, because quantum thermodynamics here happens to indicate that those are simply not what we believe to be the case, and they're not really happening. But there are detractors to that idea. But then again, I'm also weary of that idea, because it's like, whenever I talk to someone, I go, you're acting very tribalized, where only this viewpoint and perspective, which sure has some evidence, but it doesn't really resultively go towards any other possibility of experimentation that reveals other evidences to the contrary when it comes down to these proposed ideas in quantum thermodynamics. But there's a lot of money right now tied up in, which is incentive if you don't know. Maybe it's like, they're not incentivized, they're scientists. Meanwhile, me and many other scientists, I'm not one, but physicists, engineers. In fact, a lot of people that work in that kind of a zone, yes, not incentivized by money, sure, yes. Yes, no, we are super purely neutral. Purely 100% neutral. No way in hell would we ever. Nothing like that exists. No, no, no. Don't fucking tell them. Don't tell the people. It's really necessary to have money to do this shit. We're talking billions of dollars. I'll tell you whatever the... Yes. We could definitely run the world with the money. I mean, the experiments and what they'll show. Now, granted, it's an incentive. There is incentive to continue with a very easy, by far, type of mathematics that's effectively a balancing act of math. And if you ever think about that, it's like, this often looks like they ran their head into a wall until they were like, I don't necessarily know. And we don't even actually have the information of quantum thermodynamics or QED or any of that other stuff, you know? So we're just going to make it supersymmetrical, and then we're going to try and shoehorn a fuck ton of supersymmetrical particles that are supposed to be doing these quantum variability things that are not variables. They're not variables. They're definitely somewhat kind of like variables, though, but they're not variables. They're just not. Sure. And I'm like, anyone that knows, like, I mean really knows, that really takes a second to really break down. And, you know, you get rid of your social life, bro. You gotta get rid of that. What's that? You have a fucking girlfriend? Get the fuck out of here. Fucking dumbass thinking you can have a girlfriend thinking about this shit. The fuck you on about? Fucking what the hell? Dummy. Get rid of that social life. Meanwhile, it's a literal meme of the bear looking sideways. Because they don't have social lives and they're genuinely like just struggling for those that are like really honestly trying to fucking figure this shit out. Like, because it's like, what the fuck in hell is going on actually? Like, when you really break this down, when you really break down that standard model, it's like this kind of solves some of that standard model stuff that we don't like pretty well, and it really effectively modifies our idea and understanding of this empty quotation mark space, non-existent space, sorry, and because it's not non-existent, but it is. See, this is the thing. It's not like, in our relative perspective, it's not existent. No. It will never have been. These are potentials that will always fall back to non-existence. And we use the word potential for a reason, because they're potentially gonna be a thing. Much like, hey, you know, I wanted to go to the store today, and then I sat and watched YouTube for several hours and never went to the store. And it's like, but should you have gone to the store, it would have been a thing. So these are potentials. It's just a layman's way of describing that, just so you know. All right, so you can understand it, grasp the concept a little bit. All right. Now, the idea of a quantum potential is fascinating in the world of mathematics. You see, they are both existing and not existing, but then they are actually really just not existing. They didn't happen, they never did, they never were going to, and they're not there. We're not even talking about like a bell curve of maybes. We're talking about a literal didn't, but it makes actual happenings, interactional happenings occur with us. They're an amplificatory process to our gravities. Okay, so as they happen to impart energy, stuff, they still have pressure. They still have an interaction of, I might have been gravity. I might have done this, and so it solves the dark matter, dark energy problem without having to modify the gravity as much. We still have to modify gravity in the world of physics. We still do. It still lines up. But there's gonna be this that exists. And in fact, the modification that goes so far over that effectively literally butts quantum thermodynamics out of the fucking goddamn zone of physics, it's like, what? No, that's not fair. What are you doing? That's not fair. No, I clearly am doing something. You are clearly wrong. I exist, you fucker. Thermodynamics still happen even in the quantum realm. I am getting no love here. They hate me. I'm like the fucking middle ADHD handsome child. You talking about yourself again? Yes, because I want to go back to the hot, spicy drama that usually keeps people interested. That's right. Now back to this. Back to this. We're going to talk about the fact that, hey, it happens to exist all the places. Not just, it's here where we are, and we got the lines, like what we use for like maybe, thermodynamically, our relative quantum perspective, that it's superpositional and entangled. Meanwhile, it's still got heat, passing information, and there's momentum. You're lying. That information is still known and passed through the fields, you idiosas. Meanwhile, the quantum physicist superposition go burr. And I'm like, this is some bullshit. This is some fucking bullshit. Let me tell you. Just because we can't relativistically see it doesn't mean that the information isn't there in another capacity. And so that's one of the reasons why we end up having, even when we cool things down and denoise the hell out of it, we still end up having errors. 99.997% is garbage as a fucking computer error rate. It basically means you got up and then you fell down after a few walks, as in steps, actually, over to go pee. It's garbage. It's literally what that is, because if you're like, oh, I have like a few, like let's say 50 qubits, something like this is like 9 out of 10 almost, roughly. You do that a few times, for 10 here, let's go with 10, okay? About 9 out of the 10 times that you run the 10 fucking qubits, it's good, it's perfect. And then on the 10th one, there's quite a few errors, and we don't know why. How is that useful? That's a shit clock rate. You know how long that takes? That clock rate is garbage. You need to not have errors. Frickin' what? Meanwhile, they're like, quantum thermodynamics. So that could be the thing. Well, I'm like, you have to pressurize it. No way, you can't pressurize things. Remember, you're in a massive amount of fucking less dense, highly pressurized areas. Pressurizing something is not what you need to do. You need to depressurize quantum thermodynamic realms. And to get towards that bare minimum just below, because there's a point in quantum thermodynamics where there is a nothingness area, where it's past non-existence and it falls out to no longer being able to be a potential. That's right. This is the nitty-gritty, kooky, scary, oh my god, what the fuck? Is it deletion of information? It's like, well, technically, yes. which is scary as a thought, because it's like there should be a conservation. It's like it does everything it can to make sure it goes back up. It doesn't matter. I'm nothingness. I don't want to be nothingness. I can't exist as nothingness. I'm both all the way in the astrophysics land of nothing that I expand into as a universe, and also the bittiest of nothing bullshit that happens to exist for the area that land of potential land happens to also coexist alongside of that universe. That it happens to also support us. So its realm of physics effectively means I basically move around and create a momentum potential that fires its shit up and makes us eventually. Now, how does it do that? It's the idea, potential idea. It's an idea. It's a creative idea, effectively. Think about it that way. It's like, oh, there's nothing there. And so with your internal and existential and total complete lack of stimulation and everything boredom, you're going to fucking do something. Like, think about it in layman's terms, aspects. Okay, it's like, I have all of them. I am infinite, actually, or near enough. And I want to do something. Something. Fucking anything, god damn it. I can't do anything. I'm nothing. I can't exist. Nothingness equates to me not being a thing. I can't do that. That's not possible. How the fuck do I make something so that way I'm not here? Potentials. Potentials. You know what I mean? And so it's an idea that it's moving, an idea that something could possibly be. And that rises up to a potential that then collapses and coalesces, as gravity and all the rest of the forces are still a thing, and it shoots it up to us eventually. Most of it's going to fall down into the drop down and quantum tunnel backup zone, okay? That's what the theory is of my own personal theory for the quantum thermodynamic realm, and it works and checks out quite well with their math. So, as a result of that, it means quantum physicists suck, astrophysicists suck. They don't want to talk to each other, because if they had ever done that, they would have realized that this is a thing that's a possibility, and wow, you guys are just jibber-jabbering about how great all of you are, and never really wanting to think. And I'm bored of that. I wanted to solve some shit, not display my wonderful ego off with how amazingly bright and awesome and how many PhDs and everything else I happen to have, and how right everyone was with my imposter syndrome, that is, that I was smart. And I did this thing that means I definitely am. You get it? Insecurities abound there. If they ever fucking see this. But the psychological aspects are what they are. People do have that. It doesn't matter where you are in any kind of realm. And when you treat life like a competition, like most of the people that have money do, you end up finding out that, just like anything, the people that perform the most are the ones that have a solid fucking psychological psyche, ego, that stands the test of time to the rigors that are people saying they can't do it and so on. You know, the psychological aspect of getting performance out of people. So, that being said, this is all a hypothetical, some of those. The nothingness realm, the potential realm, there's just posits that there's a falling down area, and they don't get back up again. It's like Chumbawamba never happened. Fuck you, guys. What the fuck? Meanwhile, me, that's essentially what quantum vacuum pressure is. What are you and that's why quantum fucking dark matter and energy exists. What are you doing? It's a literal astronomical phenomenon that clearly shows off it's being there in some capacity, and you didn't fucking think maybe some thermodynamics were going on. It didn't exist anymore. It just stopped existing because so we're a train now? We're a train. We're trains now. We're trains now. I guess we're trains. Let's do it. Just have to go along with a bunch of people that happen to have the opportunity and people to realize their brilliance and give them opportunities and everything else, unlike my fucking ass, because I had a bunch of fucking sorry, sore loser, narcissistic parents and family that hated whenever the hell it was I decided to say something intelligent. Much like the vast majority of the world, I came to find out after I finally got out of the house. Didn't change much. Didn't change much. So, there's that. Anyways, moving on. The quantum thermodynamics is what it is. Getting that engine going again. Let's have a little bit of levity, blow off some of that fucking density, and to our version of events, it's way too much pressure. We would have to have an enormous amount. It's like, well, yes, no, to your versions of quantum relativity here, it's relativity, okay, perspective-wise. You have got to shut up if you don't understand that. Relativity works all ways, okay? Just like there's an accelerational component, our pressurizational relative perspective is an accelerational component. It stood still to us. And it's also moving so fast, it looks like it's a solid piece. That's a relativity perspective. You've got to fucking... Hey, you in there! You! Wake up! Brain, I need you functioning. You need to be on the level of this man. And fucking keep an open mind and be willing to fucking do the group therapy. Doing a squat like Chris Farley. Yeah. Hey! Alright! By the river! I thought, no. The river is coming to greet us. It is relative time perspective. We're not going to it. It's coming to us, bitch. People might understand the 3 layers of time, dimensionality aspect paper. Most of you probably never read it. I didn't, but I knew what the hell they were talking about. I'm not going to tell you I read it. Fuck you. I didn't even read quantum thermodynamic math to know this. I was like, oh yeah, let me think about that. How do quantum thermodynamics work? Let me just think about that. Oh, they're probably positing this, and that's what the papers say. So that means it's probably something like this that they're thinking. Because like relative to their perspective, they have this one tribalized viewpoint perspective that everybody tends to believe. And they don't really like to think outside the box. So like it's probably something most likely like this, but they're having a real issue being able to ever proceed towards that, realm of creative thought and idea to solve some of their math because, well, we're trying to make it work with this. Which is not a red hole. Sorry, it's a gray hole. Gray hole. Yeah, suck it up. It's red in no aspect. There's no red to it. There's no color. Hey, dude, there ain't fucking electromagnetics. We call it gray because it's sucking shit up and it's firing it out to us, which isn't a white hole. And it's not a black hole. Ha. How do you expect to... So... densify, lose the pressure, and keep the remaining of your energetic heat. Heat is still there. Momentum is our kinetic version of heat. You need to shut the fuck up about that and learn. Since apparently that's how you learned with your family or something. Is that working well with you? With your professors? Is that how they taught you? Look, you need to change your perspective a little bit, okay? Momentum is heat. Momentum is heat. That's what entropy is based upon. Entropy is heat. Heat is our time version of events. It's pretty fucking simple stuff. It's like, no, time exists outside of entropy. Okay, well, not to our relative perspective. Shut up. I don't give a fuck what the hell you think. You're lying your ass off if you believe that, because you have nothing other than my shit, and your shit doesn't have any more evidence to anything suggesting you're right as well. It's got some mathematical graph paperwork at best, and even then, it doesn't have any proofs that say anything. Time is already on the docket for changing. That's the facts. In the world of bleeding edge fucking mathematical physics concepts, yeah, guess what? Time is not what we thought. And it's on the chopping block as if it never existed to begin with. So, deal with the fact that you could be right, I could be right. I could be wrong, you could be wrong. Hey, how's it feel to be in a fucking superposition, mate? Yeah! That's right. That's called, we didn't know until we learned the truth. A relativity of time's superpositional states on us. Little fuckwads who travel through it. Who don't know shit at all about anything. Deal with that, dude. Remember? You eventually grew up to learn some shit, and now you're all hot shit and you know everything, right? Suck it up, you don't! Now, the basics of this concept are pretty simple. Time is a different type of thing, and relativistically speaking, the vast majority of time we'll never even possibly understand. And we're just trying to make it up as we go along to fit things that basically are tribalized viewpoints that happen to have extraordinarily simplistic detective work of smash, particle, go bang. And I'm like, cool, Grug. That's nice. But what if we didn't do bang? What if we did suck? Grug no likey suck. More suck for me than Grug. Just saying, more suck for me, okay? Damn it, fucking Ooga. Where's Ooga? We're gonna go suck some shit over here. And we're gonna test things as a result with wormholes. That's right, folks. We're gonna use wormholes. I have some experimental designs that should be able to test things. I'm not gonna talk about it because I'm not a scientist and I don't have lots of money to be able to do it. So these are experimental concepts in my head, and so far, my Google feed, news feed, that I was like, they could do this. And then I see it on my Google news feed, so I'm going to go with they weren't stealing my mind's ideas by listening to me out loud when I wasn't recording, but I was talking out loud. Because, I need to fucking be able to, actually get through life and not be harboring massive amounts of wanting to kill everything. That problem. But do you know? That's exactly the same science I thought about. And that's exactly the same and it did pan out exactly the way I thought it would. And exactly the amount of fucking numbers that I said it would. The same numbers, the same fucking science, the same experiment, and it's been going on for 8 fucking years now. Holy shitola. Well, I'm fucking smart. Ooh, I can't deny that, motherfucker. Dunning-Kruger effect, fuck you. Yeah. Bye.